So today at the T20 World Cup, Sri Lanka ended their tournament on a high. They eliminated the defending champions West Indies from the T20 World Cup, beating them by 20 runs. And Australia absolutely bludgeoned their way past Bangladesh, beating them by 8 wickets and strengthening their case formidably for a semi-final position. And I'll be talking about both of these games on this volume of CRIQAZI Diaries.
Have a look at that, smiles up, oh, it's nearly taken someone out the stands. That was a flat six right under the stand there, the George Giffen stand, up into the members, and it went like a rocket. Well, wicket 24.
So West Indies won the toss and they elected to field on an Abu Dhabi wicket that is very much suited to batting now in this latter half of the tournament. And Sri Lanka came out all guns blazing with all of their batters contributing. Kusal Perera fell relatively early. He scored 29 of 21 deliveries. And then Sri Lanka's two youngsters who have been so impressive in this T20 World Cup, Pathum Nissanka and Charitha Salanka, they took charge of the batting innings. Pathum Nissanka scored his third 50 of this T20 World Cup. He scored 51 of 41 deliveries, whereas Charitha Salanka scored his second 50 of the tournament in just 6 innings. He scored a whirlwind 68 of 41 deliveries and now stands at the top of the batting charts in this T20 World Cup. His aggregate of 231 runs so far is the most by any other batter in this tournament. It is important to note that both of Pathum Nissanka and Charitha Salanka have been earmarked by head coach Mickey Arthur to be future mainstays of Sri Lanka's batting. They've definitely shown us that in this T20 World Cup. Pathum Nissanka, of course, is very impressive, but I've been most impressed by Charitha Salanka. The 24-year-old left-handed batsman who has formerly captained Sri Lanka's under-19 team as well, seems to be the most promising batting talent in the country. He has a wide range of strokes and is also very, very compact in his stroke play. Captain Dasun Shanaka remained unbeaten on 25 runs of 14 deliveries as he propelled Sri Lanka's total to 189 for the loss of 3 wickets in 20 overs. Then in just the second over of West Indies' batting innings, left-arm pacer Benura Fernando struck twice, removing both openers Chris Gayle and Evan Lewis to have West Indies on the back foot from the word go. Benura Fernando, who ended up with figures of 2 for 24 in his 2 overs, would in fact have had a third wicket had Mahesh Theekshana held on to Nicholas Pooran's catch early on in the innings. Pooran was in fact dropped twice by Theekshana, once off his own bowling as well when he was on single digits, and as a result of those 2 dropped catches, Pooran went on to score 46 of 34 deliveries. However, it was Shimron Hetmyer who put up a lone battle for the West Indies. He scored a marvelous 81 of 54 deliveries, but ultimately West Indies did fall short by 20 runs. No other West Indian batter even recorded double digits as the men in maroon are now officially eliminated from the T20 World Cup. The bowling department for West Indies in this T20 World Cup was definitely weaker compared to bowling departments of West Indies team of World Cups past, and their fielding was extremely substandard. Add to that their batting efforts, which were also quite pedestrian. I suppose age has caught up with all of West Indies' mega stars, their golden generation of T20 players, as Chris Gayle only managed to score 30 runs in 4 innings at this World Cup at an average of 7.5. It seems to be the end of the road for the universe boss Chris Gayle, and of course Dwayne Bravo is retiring after this T20 World Cup too, and I don't really see a future for Kieran Pollard and Lyndall Simmons either, and it is imperative for West Indies to blood a new generation of cricketers now, and this new team must be built around Shimron Hetmyer and Nicholas Pooran, who are definitely stars for the future in international cricket. The pick of Sri Lanka's bowlers was once again ace leg spinner Wanindu Hasaranga. He took 2 wickets for just 19 runs in his 4 overs and is now ranked number 1 bowler in the T20 international rankings. Wanindu Hasaranga has taken the most amount of wickets for any bowler in T20 internationals in 2021 and finishes this T20 World Cup top of the charts, leading wicket taker in this tournament with 16 wickets. And he has also broken the record for most amount of wickets taken in a single edition of the T20 World Cup. His googly is absolutely impossible to pick. He's quite decent with the bat as well. And given that he's only 24 years old, really sky is the limit for Wanindu Hasaranga. Sri Lanka may not have made it to the semi-finals of this T20 World Cup, but they've definitely had a positive World Cup. They ended their tournament on a high, knocking out the defending champions legends, and they've unearthed multiple stars during the course of this T20 World Cup. I reckon that Hasaranga, Lanka, Nissanka, and Theekshana are all brilliant players, and they have very, very bright futures in international cricket. And given that Mickey Arthur is the head coach of this team, in my opinion, he's one of the best developmental coaches. And this is a young Sri Lankan team. We've only seen the start, and I'm positive that they'll only get better with time and potentially go on to replicate the success of Sri Lankan teams of the past, which was so successful and we had gotten so accustomed to. So best of luck to Sri Lankan cricket from my side. I've always been a fan of the island nation, and I'm hopeful that they're able to emulate the same sort of standards that their predecessors have set for them. In the other game, Australia won the toss. They elected to field as well, and then they went on to absolutely dismember Bangladesh's batting order, bowling them out for just 73 runs in 15 overs. They also went on to ensure that Bangladesh will in fact end this Super 12 stage winless in the T20 World Cup and continue their streak of going winless in the second round of the T20 World Cup historically. Contrary to their rise in recent years, Bangladesh actually have only managed to beat a full member team once in 23 attempts across the T20 World Cup throughout its history. Their only win came against West Indies in the very first edition of the T20 World Cup back in 2007. Mitchell Starc and Josh Hazlewood rocked Bangladesh's top order, Starc taking 2 for 28 in 4 overs, whereas Hazlewood took 2 for 8 in just 2 overs. Bangladesh's tormentor-in-chief, however, was leg spinner Adam Zampa, who went on to take his very first 5-wicket haul in T20 international cricket. He recorded figures of 5 wickets for 19 runs in his 4 overs, which are also now the best figures for any bowler in this T20 World Cup, bettering Mujibur Rahman's 5 for 20 by just 1 run. I think it's safe to say that Adam Zampa, who not a lot of people were giving a shout, has definitely risen to the occasion in this T20 World Cup as Australia's leading spinner, and in fact he would have gotten a hat-trick today had Matthew Wade not dropped a catch off his hat-trick ball. As for Bangladesh, I would say they have drastically underperformed. These wickets were suited to their style of play, and I really expected them to do better. A really disappointing campaign has now officially come to an end, and I get that Tamim Iqbal wasn't there and Shakib was ruled out due to injury mid-tournament, but they still had enough players to make an impact and at least win 1 game in the Super 12 stage. As for Australia, they made quick work of the target. They chased it down in just 6.2 overs with 82 deliveries to spare. Captain Aaron Finch, who has found form just at the right time, led the way with 40 runs of 20 deliveries. And this victory has massively improved Australia's net run rate and has solidified their chances of making it to the semi-final stage, provided they win their last game versus the West Indies. Given West Indies' form, you'd think that Australia would win that game and progress to the semi-finals, but maybe, just maybe, given that so many of West Indies players won't ever play a game for the national team again, we might have an upset on the cards. However, given Australia have improved their net run rate so much, even if West Indies beat them, if England manages to beat South Africa, I think they'll safely make it to the next round. That's a wrap for volume 72, folks. As always, if you enjoyed this video, like it, share it, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit that bell icon in order to be notified about all of my latest videos. Let me know in the comment section below which 3 teams will make it to the semi-finals alongside Pakistan. I'll be looking forward to your comments. I'll catch you after tomorrow's games. That's all for now. Kazi off the mic.
Have a look at that, Smiles up, oh, it's nearly taken someone out the stands. That was a flat 6 right under the stand there, the George Giffen stand, up into the members, and it went like a rocket.